The next topic that I want to talk about is what's known as a general word as functions. Everybody knows them as functions, methods, all kind of other names. But I really want to talk about what they are, the different types of bindings that we have, the different type of calling models that we have, and how they're actually implemented. So the first thing I want to talk about is what are functions? In a sense, functions are what's known as procedural abstractions. What does that mean? There are two types of abstractions that we actually deal with right now in code. We talk about abstraction of a procedure, and we have abstraction of data. Now, abstraction of data is my next topic, and that led to what's known as object-oriented programming. The current topic, I want to talk about abstractions of procedure, and that's been around for a lot of years. We're talking about, 50, 60 years already. And what it actually does is that it abstracts away detail in order for us to deal with complexity. What do I mean? Well, suppose we look at a function square root. Square root has an input and an output. We have no idea, or at least unless we bothered looking into it, how it's actually doing the work. Notice it's abstracted away. It's a black box. You give it a 9, it gives you a 3. You give it a 16, it gives you a 4. If you give it something between a 9 and a 16, it gives you something between a 3 and a 4, right? How is that done? Well, anybody here know? So that is what's known as procedural abstraction. Means we are abstracting away all kind of details in order to get something which is actually a higher level up look. Same thing is true for, let's say, writing out to the screen. We use the output operator, right, with C out and C++. Let's say we use the OStream data object with an output operator, the less than less than, and it gets written out to the screen. How does it get done? I have no idea. So in a sense, we have here something which is a procedural abstraction. We have a procedure that we go about, and we don't exactly care or know how it accomplishes its task, but it accomplishes its task. That's what a function is. It's a procedural abstraction with a name. You can obviously have anonymous ones too, but I'm just saying if you want to be able to call them from anywhere, then you have to be able to give it a name. But in general, we take a piece of code, we give it some kind of name, or whatever it is, and from now on, we don't care what happens inside that piece of code. We care that there is some kind of definition. Well, this code does square root. We call square root, we get the answer. And we are able to abstract away the actual procedure that's doing all the work. That's what abstraction is, and that's what procedural abstraction is. In a sense, that's what functions are. Functions are the code way of abstracting away procedures. Now, we as humans deal with abstractions all the time. We just maybe not notice it. I'm talking to you through a computer. You might not know exactly how it works, but who cares? It's a computer. All the details are abstracted away behind the keyboard, behind the screen, behind whatever. Same thing is for the webcam, which I'm actually looking at right now. Same idea. You might not know how it works, but who cares? It's a webcam. Well, if we actually wanted to, use like, delve in and look, it has this wire, that wire. It's true. But you could zoom out and say, well, it's a webcam. What is the difference? How it actually gets done inside. So that's what's known as abstraction. And in code, we actually have procedural abstraction.